Hi all, so welcome to this channel, and in this video session I'll discuss this topic, that is add constraint in DDL table in IBM AS400. So add constraint is basically used to add the constraint, either unique constraint or a primary key constraint or a foreign key constraint to the DDL table. The same way we use command add pfcst in DDS, we use this add constraint keyword in the DDL script to add any constraint on the table field. So this topic is under this DDS to DDL or DDS to SQL series. So let's start with the demo. Let's create some file from by copying this. Let's copy this. So let's have create table DDL10. Let's remove this. I don't need this. So this script create table DDL10 and then field 1 cal10 not null with default. Just remove unique. I can add the unique key constraint like this, but I won't be using this anymore. I'll be using the add constraint keyword. So this is field 1 and this is field 2, decimal 2 not null with default. So either I can add, so now I can add the uh, constraint to this table, because the table is created using, table will be created using this keyword, and after that the next script will be executed which will add the constraint. So for that I need to alter the table, I need to change the table to add that constraint. So I'll be using alter table command and then table name, then add constraint. I can have that on the same line. Let's constraint. So let me have that name cst1 constraint name, and then the constraint type primary key constraint. I would be adding primary key constraint first. I can have a primary key constraint on the field 1, and then that's closed. Let's delete this. Run SQL statement to just compile this. Now I'll check the object that's created. We'll do DSPFD to see the constraint. So you can see primary key constraint is added to this table. So this was the primary key constraint on field 1. Now let's delete the object, and now let's add the primary key constraint on field 1 and field 2 both. Now let's create this file again. So if I do work object on DDL10, so the object is created DSPFD. Now if you'll see the same constraint applied on the file. Constraint cst1 type this star primary. Now we have key fields field 1 and field 2, number of fields 2, key length is 12. So this way we have two fields in the primary key constraint, that is again you can say a composite primary key. And now let's delete this object again to have some other constraint. Now I can what I can do is I can add another constraint, say CSG2, and that's a unique constraint on, let's say, field 1. So here I do not require key keyword, so unique is sufficient and that's not required, and that is actually not required. You'll get the syntax error. So let me compile this. Doing work object on DDL10. So you can see the object, DSP FD information. So now it's a unique key constraint. Constraint name is changed. That is now CSG2. Type is star unique. Key field is field 1. And number of key fields in key is 1. Key length is 10. That, and that's all other information in this PFD. So you can see that we created a unique key constraint now. Now let's delete this object again to have some other things. So let's create this table again to have a constraint that is unique, but this time it's on two fields, field 1 and field 2. And if I would save this, so you can see this, the records are saved. Now let's compile this. So you can see the object gets created. Just do this PFD CSG2 star unique. Key field is field 1 and field 2. So this time there are two fields. Number of fields in key are 2 and the total length of those key fields is 12. So you can see we have added the unique key constraint this time, and that is based on the composite key, that is field 1 and field 2. So this way we can add the constraint using the alter table command. So once we create a table, then we can alter that table to add the constraint of type primary key, unique key, or the foreign key in other cases. So and that can be same as as what we do in the DDS files, that we use the add pfcsg command. So we can use alter table and add constraint command to change or to add the constraint to the DDL file. So I showed you the demo of how I added constraint of primary key and unique key, and we can also add the constraint of foreign key here, but that requires another table having the primary key, so that I could relate to that primary key when I'm creating a foreign key here. And the one most important thing when we are having this primary key or foreign key thing work, what we need is the file must be general. So if we do not perform generally, we won't be able to achieve the primary and foreign key things. So in that cases the file must be general. So once we move towards the demo of the journaling thing. So once I start the concept of journaling or journaling video on my channel, I'll surely do the table thing again, so that I can show you how we will be adding a constraint that is a foreign key, or that is a foreign key which references to some primary key, and thus that's all. So now you have some idea of how you can use this add constraint keyword to add a particular constraint on some on a one field or on some other fields. So this way you will be able to do this. So you can if you require a video, I'll surely do the things at the last once I'll be ending my series, so I'll be surely doing that. So that's all in this video. Thank you and have a nice